guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing just a perfect cake. If you love my sour cherry jello dessert, you're going to love today's recipe. I'll be making my sour cherry cake with more sour cherries on top. I'm going to make a really spongy, light and fluffy cake batter, bake it in the oven and add more sour cherries on the inside, whipped cream, more sour cherries, and I like to serve it with sour cherry syrup and more different types of delicious fruits. So right now I'm going to get started on my cake batter. So here I have 5 large egg whites, and I'm just going to use my mixer to whisk this on high speed until you have a light and fluffy of egg whites. Once you have whisked your egg whites like this, it's time to add the sugar. I'm going to add 1.5 tablespoons of white granulated sugar. I'm just going to pour it right in. And then use my mixer to whisk this on high speed until you have a light and fluffy and bright meringue. Once I have whisked my egg whites, I'm going to place it into the refrigerator until it doesn't melt it. And come back to get started on my egg yolks. So into my mixer, I'm going to add in 5 large egg yolks and a 1/3 cup of canola oil. You can use sunflower oil for this recipe. Every type of cooking oil that you're using is right. And I'm just going to mix them too well. And I'm going to add in 1/2 cup of white granulated sugar. And mix them all together. Now I'm going to be using 1/2 cup of sweetened sour cherry juice. This is sweetened. If you're going to use unsweetened sour cherry juice, you'll want to add 1 cup of white granulated sugar. I'll add in 1/2 cup of milk. Mix it together. And onto my dry ingredients, I have 1 cup of flour. Into that I'm going to add 1 tablespoon and a half or 1 tablespoon of baking powder. I'm going to be using a fine whisk strainer to sift flour into my cake batter. And I'm just going to use my mixer to whisk the flour until it's well incorporated. Time for the sour cherries. I have 1 cup of fresh sour cherries. Into that I'm going to add a tablespoon of flour, and this is going to help your sour cherries doesn't go to the bottom of the pan, and this because it's suspended in your batter. And it's time for my egg whites. Before I add my egg whites into my cake batter, I'm going to whisk it a little bit until it doesn't get stick into your pan. I'm just going to fold it into your batter very slowly, and be careful to do not over mix the egg whites into that. And now I have added all my egg whites. And it's time for the sour cherries. I'm going to drop all of them into my cake batter. And mix them well. And now for my whipped cream. Here I have 2 cups of sweetened chilled heavy cream. This is a whipped cream. If you cannot use a whipped cream, you can use regular whipped cream, heavy whipping cream, and add 1.5 cups of confectioner sugar and whisk it on high speed well. And now let's forget the tip. You can use any types of tips that you have at home. I'm going to be using just some shell tips like this, and today I'm going to be using this one. And I'm just going to transfer my whipped cream into my pastry bag. Alright, when my cake has cooled completely, I'm going to get started on my decorations. Here I have some sour cherry syrup, some fresh sour cherries, and my whipped cream already done. So let's work on the cake. Check out this fluffy and delicious cake. It has cooled completely. I have baked it in a 5-inch cake pan, and I have baked it for about 45 minutes on 190 centigrade of my oven. I'm just gonna make some beautiful dollops on top. It's time to finish the cake off with more sour cherries. And now it's time to cut this incredible cake and see what it looks like on the inside. It's really light. I like the sour cherries on the inside. Check out this fluffy cake. Isn't that gorgeous? I like to serve my cake with more sour cherries, more whipped cream, and some sour cherry syrup. This is going to be incredible, so delicious, and it's time to dig in and give this dessert a try. Check out this stunning cake, and I love the sour cherry syrup. I love to dig in and enjoy this. Alright, I'm just gonna get myself another bite. And check out the creamy and light and fluffy. Look at that. And I like to add some fresh sour cherries on the side. And that's it, guys, for my sour cherry cake. This sour cherry cake is incredibly delicious, so light and fluffy, and I actually love the sour cherries on the inside. That will be so amazing and absolutely delicious. Hope you guys have enjoyed our recipe, and I'll see you next time.